Once upon a time in the faraway land of Snowdrop Bay, where snowflakes fell like confetti and the north wind whispered secrets in the trees, lived a cheerful little penguin named Penny. Now Penny was known throughout the bay for her infectious giggles, her bright orange beak, and most of all, her warm and fuzzy hugs. She simply couldn't start her day without squeezing someone with all her might, which was quite difficult considering she was only a little penguino. She tried to explain it once. She said, "You know, just when your tummy hurts and you feel a little bit blue, you need a good laugh and a squeeze from a true friend." But the others would just look at her and shake their heads because they didn't understand why anyone would want to give or receive a hug. They were much too busy for such silliness. The seals would slide on the ice, the walruses would munch on their fish, and the polar bears would take long naps in the sun. "Don't have time for hugs," said the seals. "There's no time for cuddles," grumbled the walruses. Even her best friend, Ollie the owl, flew south for warmer weather, leaving Penny all alone in her cozy igloo. She missed her friend terribly, but she knew he'd be back in the spring. So until then, she decided to wait for him patiently and practice her hugs on whoever would let her. She greeted every new day with a smile. She waved at the clouds. She slid on the ice, and she hugged. She hugged fluffy snowdrifts, sparkling icicles, and even grumpy Mr. Grumbles, the walrus. She asked them if they needed to warm up, but they always answered, "Go away, little penguin, don't bother me." Poor Penny. She really wanted to share her warmth with the others, but they just didn't understand. One day, however, everything changed. A huge dark cloud floated across the sky and covered the sun. Strong winds swirled across the bay, swirling up huge walls of snow. The temperature plummeted, and soon it was so cold outside that not even Penny's nose dared to poke out of her igloo. "Oh dear," she said, waddling inside. "I hope everyone's safe." Suddenly, there was a loud crash and a small cry. Penny rushed to the window and gasped. A young fox cub had fallen into a snowdrift and couldn't get out. Without thinking twice, Penny grabbed her warmest scarf, knotted it around her neck, and waddled out into the blizzard. As she got closer to the fox cub, she heard him whimpering, "Help me, please. My paws are freezing." Without saying a word, Penny quickly gathered the snow around him, making a little cave for the scared cub to crawl into. Then she huddled close to him and wrapped her wings around his small frozen body. The fox cub snuggled against her, and after a while, he stopped crying and started to purr. Feeling braver now that he wasn't so cold anymore, the fox cub licked Penny's beak and said, "Thank you. You saved me." Penny blushed and replied, "It was no trouble at all. Are you feeling better?" The little fox nodded, feeling warmer than he had ever been before. "I think I'm going to call you Warm Hugs, Penny," he said, giving her another grateful lick. "That's a wonderful name," Penny giggled, as together they waited for the storm to pass. But they didn't wait for long. After only a few minutes, Penny felt the wind dying down and the snow slowing to a light flurry. When the two friends finally made it back to Penny's igloo, she noticed a crowd of animals waiting for her outside. There were seals and walruses, foxes and polar bears, even Ollie the owl. All of them had come out to see what was happening, and when they saw Penny with the little fox cub, they gasped in amazement. For the first time, they had seen the incredible power of her warm hugs. The seals slid off the ice and waddled over. Penny said, "One of them, we saw you helping the fox cub. We've been so wrong about you and your hugs." The walruses swam closer. "We thought you were wasting your time with those silly hugs. But you were busy doing something much more important. You were spreading warmth." Even Mr. Grumbles shuffled over and said, "Well, Penny, I guess I owe you an apology. You might be onto something with these hugs. They do make you feel pretty good, don't they?" Penny beamed at them. "I told you," she said. "A hug makes everything feel better, even the coldest winter day." And to prove it, she gave each one of them a big, warm hug. From that day on, nobody said, "No, time for hugs again." In fact, everyone in Snowdrop Bay looked forward to Penny's daily hugs. They learned that sometimes the best gift you can give is a little bit of love. The seals would ask for a hug when they felt sad. The walruses would line up for a group hug when they felt lonely. And Mr. Grumbles even let Penny give him a hug whenever he felt blue. Every day was filled with laughter and warmth, and the whole bay felt like a big family. And what about the little fox cub? Well, he became best friends with Penny. He learned that even the smallest penguin can be the warmest friend a fox could ask for. They would play in the snow together. They'd slide down hills, and when they got tired, they'd cuddle up in a big pile of snow and share their dreams for the future. Penny dreamed of visiting faraway lands, meeting new animals, and giving them hugs. And the little fox dreamed of living in a world where everyone gave each other warm hugs every day. As the sun set over Snowdrop Bay, casting long shadows across the ice, Penny and the fox cub walked back to her igloo. The northern lights shimmered above them, painting the night sky with colors, and the air was filled with the sound of happy laughter and warm hugs. When they reached the igloo, the fox cub turned to Penny and said, "You know, I'm so glad we're friends. You're the best penguin in the whole wide world." "Oh, you're not so bad yourself," Penny replied with a wink. "Just remember, no matter how cold it gets or how lonely you feel, all you need is a warm hug and a true friend to make everything all right." The fox cub nodded, understanding that sometimes love and kindness are the warmest gifts of all. Then, as the northern lights twinkled above them, Penny and the fox cub went inside her igloo to share a warm hug and dream of all the happiness they would bring to Snowdrop Bay. And that's the end of this story. Now, if you liked this story, I have a question for you. Do you also believe that love and kindness are the warmest gifts you can give? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe so you won't miss any of our brand new stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.